Here we go. Comic-Con. Kit Connor, welcome to your first San Diego Comic-Con.
Thank you so much.
This is a moment.
It's a moment, for sure. Yeah, it's happening. I'm excited.
You're checking off a lot of boxes in this career as you proceed through it. Did you ever imagine yourself in this kind of world, in the world of Comic-Con?
I really didn't, to be honest. No, I didn't think, certainly for a while. And I didn't expect the Wild Robot to take me here either, so I'm very excited to be here.
So for some context, you are here for The Wild Robot, which is an animated film from DreamWorks. It is has an amazing cast.
Yeah.
Lupita Nyong'o, Pedro Pascal, Mark Hamill. You.
Yeah.
You're in good company.
Punching majorly, but I'm here, yeah.
Well, that's always a good indication that things are going well with the company you keep.
Exactly.
Is this one of the things where like you've never even met these people yet, or did you get to share some time doing some work with them?
I've met one person, which was Bill Nye. I got to which was a pinch me moment. I got to do a little session with him, which was awesome, and I have been a long time fan of his, so getting to do a scene with him in the studio was pretty awesome. But yeah, it's the kind of funny thing about doing these projects where it's like an animation or something of that nature, where you're kind of playing these quite intimate relationships in the scenes, and I still have never met any of them. So I'm quite excited to meet some of them today. Yeah, you're going to meet your adoptive mom today, Lupita Nyong'o, one of the best. Can't wait.
So you set up the story a little bit for us here. So you play a bright Bill, and the Wild Robot, I guess, of the title is Lupita, I take it?
Yes.
And where do you fit into the story here?
So I am essentially Roz's, who is the robot. I'm the adopted son to some extent. So Roz finds me after a sort of major event where she's risking her life, and she finds this little gosling egg, and essentially finds a sense of purpose, I suppose, in raising said gosling. So that's kind of where I fit into it, and I'm the sort of runt of the litter to a certain extent, and have to sort of find my way as a half goose, half robot to some extent.
Amazing. And are you an animation person? I mean, if I looked at like DreamWorks animation, like you think How to Train Your Dragon and Shrek, are those your bag?
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't love those kind of films?
Yeah.
I feel like, especially DreamWorks, have a real talent in making films for everyone. Yeah. I think with Wild Robot especially, it does feel like one of the things that immediately drew me to it was like, this is an incredibly beautiful, innocent, simple story, and it's sort of appealing to everyone. Right. You could kind of show it to anyone, and I think anyone can kind of find something in it.
And I was saying to you before when you sat down, the word on the street is, this is probably going to make you cry. It's going to make me cry. It's going to make some folks cry.
Yeah.
You revel in that? Do you enjoy that you have that power over people through your work?
I think that's always a good sign.
Right.
Again, as long as you're trying to.
Yeah. The introverted cry, that's not good.
Exactly. If they cry immediately as soon as they sort of like hear my voice, then that's
a bad
not
indicator.
Good. Yeah.
No.
So I'm doing an American accent, so hopefully the whole sort of United States don't cry when they hear that.
No.
I think that's a beautiful thing to be able to kind of. It's a good sign, I'd say.
Are you a crier at the movies or TV? What's if I had a light on you in a movie theater during a really sad movie? Are you an ugly crier? What does it look like?
I'm not much of a crier, I've got to say, which is bad.
No, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, I try and save it for the job. Save it for when I'm being paid to. I suppose.
Show me the money.
So
and
show
I'll
me
cry
the money,
for you.
and then I'll cry. I'm not much. I get very moved by things.
Right.
I get very moved by things, but I'm not much of a crier. Which, people say that you kind of go through phases, though. Yeah. Some people kind of go through a couple months where they just sob their heart out.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Maybe by the end of this interview, it'll start the next year of crying for you.
Exactly. Well,
I have that effect on people.
Yes, exactly. It's a good way to start the day.
Yeah.
I'm not being interviewed by you for the rest of the day, so I'll just be crying.
Right, exactly.
I
appreciate the twist you had there.
Yeah.
You mentioned the accent. Is that tough? Is that what's your touchstone to? Are you like watching Kardashians, Friends reruns? Like, how do you get into your American zone?
That's a good question. I think for British people it can sometimes be slightly easier, because I don't want to like say this too much and then people watch it and be like, you're wrong. But I think generally, as a Brit, you kind of grow up watching a lot of American media and
Right.
just people speaking American. Also, like, you know, Chris and Jeff, the director and producer duo on this film, were, you know, in the studio with me. So they're speaking in American accents. It's kind of, it helps just being around American people.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the TV show you think that you kind of like unconsciously absorbed growing up, like
Blimey.
learning like what America is through a TV show?
Probably like things like The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Like Friends was big for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, kind of everything. I always used to say that, like, I used to, you know, as a kid, used to play with my toys and things, and used to give them voices, and most of them were probably American, because if they were like, you know, an action hero or something like that, they were probably
Sure.
some kind of American. I think it probably came from that to some extent.
You're having a good track record of accumulating like these mother figures in these film and TV projects. I mean, come on, Lupita, Olivia Colman.
Yeah, yeah.
Do we want to manifest anybody next? Who's next on the list?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, you know, I think maybe I'll quietly manifest it, and I mean, there's a countless amount of wonderful actors that I'd love to work with, and love to play the son of. So, yeah, I mean, I've had some real, like, I've been lucky in my career, even before like Heartstopper, for example. I had like Rachel Weisz play my mum, and well, really I was playing her son. Let's not get that wrong. And yeah, like you kind of get a lot of like Jodie Whittaker. I've been very lucky
Right.
with some of my on-screen parents. It's good to learn from, you know.
Yes.
You learn from mum and dad.
And learning from your co-stars, your romantic interests in TV and now theater. I want to mention that you're going to be on Broadway very soon.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to be in New York. I'm going to be seeing you guys very
Brilliant.
soon.
Yes, of course.
Yes, you and Rachel Zegler.
Mm-hmm.
We love Rachel around here. What's it been like to get to know Rachel through this process to do Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, we both kind of are just incredibly excited for it. So we've been, you know, we've still only met a couple times now, but we, you know, have been texting a bunch, and, you know, we've done a sort of rough read through for it. We haven't started rehearsals yet, so we've done a read through for it, and it's sounding great and feels really good. And I think it just feels like there's a lot of kind of like-minded people involved, and we all really care very deeply about it and want to do well. So that's a good sign. I think it's a good
And
start.
not only that, for those that don't know, there's like a real cool pedigree behind the scenes too. You got Jack Antonoff.
Yeah.
So what's the musical aspect of this? It's obviously not a musical, but it
Yeah.
is going to have a very strong musical component to it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think I'm going to have to leave that
Okay.
to the viewers. It's a very. They also don't tell me about these kind of things, you know? But yeah, I mean, it's super exciting to have Jack on there, to have someone so talented and so sort of acclaimed, doing the music for our show. And I think it's something that can kind of give a sense of, you know, youth, and, you know, make it feel super present,
Right.
and of the moment. And I think that's really exciting. So I can't wait I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything that he's been working on. I don't know when I will. Maybe opening night will be the first time. Who
That'd be an
knows?
odd choice.
Yeah, just like, oh, there's music.
That's what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah, just as long as I get some kind of idea of what we're working with. But I can't wait. Yeah, I think it's going to be very exciting.
I'm very excited too. Okay, so we have to talk a little Heartstopper. Obviously, the fans are very excited for the new season. How plugged in are you? I mean, when the teaser came out, I think a couple months ago, of just like that scene, were you aware of like just the response? Did you feel the love and excitement around just that?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been that active on social media recently, so I kind of like haven't this season been able to sort of see as much of the buzz for it. But certainly I've been told that everyone was very excited about that. They also kind of they're quite good at sort of springing it on us and going, by the way, there's like a little clip coming out today, so, you know,
your phone is
be
about to
ready
blow
for
up.
that.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's always nice. I mean, I think that there's it's really lovely to see that there's still a real appetite for it, and that people are still really, you know, excited to see the story progress and the characters keep going. And yeah, I think I can't wait for it to come out. And,
What can you
see
say
people
about
like
the new
it.
season, about the status of?
What can I say?
Yeah.
It's I mean, I think it feels like the real line for it is that the characters and the storyline and the sort of topics that we're discussing are maturing with the audience to a certain extent. You know, we are discussing slightly more nuanced and slightly more difficult topics and slightly more adult topics, and still very much in that approach of Heartstopper, which is, you know, optimistic and rose-tinted spectacles kind of vibe. So yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to see how the audience reacts to these slightly more challenging conversations.
Right.
And that, you know, it's not quite as clear if the characters are going to kind of, you know, make it out of this as happy as they always are, which is interesting, and I think it will be an emotional roller coaster for the audience.
It must also be nice to go through this with someone you've collaborated with, and obviously gotten to be friends with Joe.
Yeah.
And do you guys like go back and forth and like text like as you're kind of going through this in your respective whatever you're working on, and like as you see folks receiving it, like that's someone to lean on and be like, there aren't very few people that know what you're going through like this.
Very much so. I mean, really the whole cast, we're all quite, you know, supportive of one another and very close, and we all kind of try to look out for each other. It's also beautiful to see how our different kind of careers are going in different directions.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's always been like such an unbelievable support for me, and I don't know what I would do in terms of Heartstopper certainly without him, because it's just such a kind of visceral, overwhelming experience in general. So it's lovely to have someone who's going through it with you, basically.
Yeah. So we're at Comic-Con, so I feel like I'm legally obliged to ask you about a rumor that's been circulating. Are you going to be involved in the MCU? Do you have interest in it? There's talk of you. I don't even know this character. Hulking?
My friend did send me this rumor. Yeah, I'm not that I know of. Definitely not.
Do you then go on Wikipedia and be like, what's that character?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my friend Joe is very heavily involved in Marvel and has a very exciting project coming up. And I wouldn't want to cramp his style.
Right.
Really, I don't think. I think he's going to kill that, and I can't wait to see that. I'm going to leave that to him for a good long while, I reckon. But, who knows? Who knows what happens?
You're also in a project, I don't know if you shot the Alex Garland piece yet.
We have, yeah.
Okay, I'm very excited about this.
I'm very excited myself, yeah.
Let's just talk about this cast for a second, because the internet is going to be obsessed with this cast. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Okay, you, Charles Melton, Will Poulter, Joe Quinn, we were talking before, Noah Centineo, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
What's it been like to be in that company of young men all kind of like coming into this industry around the same time? That's got to be fascinating.
Yeah, well, it was beautiful. It really was. I can't say much about it, but it was. Alex is a genius and had a real. The way that he put the cast together wasn't about anything other than he wanted to work with us, and he felt that we wanted to make this project. So I've never been on a set where everyone sort of came in, put their egos at the door, and just just worked. And it was a beautiful. We were together for 2 months and just ate together, trained together, worked together. It was everything. It's that real kind of brotherhood that we built, and I love them all dearly. So I can't wait till I can sort of say more about it, and I can't wait until people can see it, because I think it could be something really special. But yeah, it was a beautiful experience getting to work with those incredibly talented men, and wonderful men as well. Did
Charles Melton bring his kimchi for everybody?
He didn't. He didn't shut up about it.
What is friendship if not sharing your kimchi?
He kept talking about his family kimchi business, but he never brought it, which I thought was cruel. But he's hopefully when he comes to visit me in New York, he'll bring some kimchi, hopefully. And
any other bonding among this cast? Like, what did you guys do to let loose a little bit?
Well, we all went out a bunch. And I think our first night out that we had, which was organised by Joe, was a sort of bowling night. And that was just like, I was expecting, I haven't been bowling for years. Right. And I was thinking, this reminds me of like my kind of 8-year-old birthday party. Yeah. But we get there and it's just like, it was just so much fun. And we'd only known each other for like a week by that point. So it was brilliant. We really, I was expecting maybe for it to take a good few weeks before we were that close. I'd say within 3-4 days, we were already like, I love you. You know, it was genuinely like it was like the last day of shooting was very emotional. Yeah.
Who won bowling night? Who got the best score?
I think it wasn't Charles. I think it might have been Will. I think. Yeah, he's a very big boy.
Yeah, he's
a very big boy, and he's got
kind of
some
in
real
shape.
Power.
Yeah,
he's got biceps the size of my arm, my head. Sorry. So, he's. I think he might have taken it home. Yeah.
Kit, it's been a pleasure. So much cool
Likewise.
stuff kind of happening for you. Enjoy your first Comic-Con, man.
Thank you so much.